Welcome to the Cafe Nightly Show. I'm your host, the Goldsmith. It is the 28th of March, 2024, and a few days left of this month. I talked about heading into the end of the quarter, talked about heading into the end of the month, and of the balance between the two seasons, moving into Blossom season on Monday. And I'll go figure, Blossom season, the 1st of April, also happens to be one other thing. That is the 1st of April, which Upland has a tradition of doing things on, and that is April Fool's Day. 2 years ago, we had this vote. We had this vote on the next mascot in the game of Upland, and people literally got to vote. You know, there was an in-game vote, and there was a couple different contenders for the new mascot, and people had their favorite. And I really liked that sad looking panda, and I was a little excited about it. And it was an April Fool's Day joke. And last year, as I mentioned yesterday, as we had a discussion about this idea of where is our weather in Upland that was going to happen, and it was an April Fool's Day joke. And what's the April Fool's Day joke 2024? What it's going to be? Is it going to be Bermuda? And it looks like it may very well be. We'll get into that announcement because it's official announcement until the April Fool's Day joke announcement drops. So we'll talk about what is, as of right now, the quote-unquote city of Bermuda, which isn't a city. It is an island. It is a territory. But we'll get into that. Also, there was a couple other small announcements today. Little small announcements, little things along the way. We do have that daily contest that continues to be a thing over in general, with a decent giveaway, with a special general chat giveaway tied to the properties in Beverly Hills that are tied to our giveaway, the redemption of the eggs, our little llama eggs, which, again, I didn't get one, and not because I didn't really want one, because of timing, because I got 1,300 and change position in line. I probably still had the chance to buy one, but I wasn't available at the time. Given the fact that I was 1,300 deep, I wasn't available at the time. I would have been able to go and purchase, so I didn't get a chance to purchase. But that sale did happen today. We'll get into that. We'll remind ourselves that did happen, and we'll look forward to this coming Monday, the 1st of April, and we'll find out whether Bermuda is a joke or not. But we'll have to talk about it first because there's enough to announce it to look like it's a city. So let's get started. All views and opinions expressed by myself, they're mine and mine alone. Shouldn't take as game strategy or financial advice that represents the game of the team of Upland. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Any guests or contributors who we do have on, hi Laban. Any guests or contributors who we do have on have their own opinions. They're allowed to have them. They are welcome to them. They don't represent myself, the Goldsmith, the Cafe Nightly Show, or the team or the game of Upland, and they should not be taken or construed as game strategy or financial advice. Easy. A landing here after the UPX podcast is a night versus day experience. Okay, I'll take that. Good to see you, Laban. Yes, it's a little different here as far as how we look at April Fool's Day. It's a good joke. No, we will have to see again. I always say this every year. I said it last year. Did the Cafe Nightly Show with the same premise of the April Fool's joke. Okay, we have weather coming. It seems that this is something that may happen. I think it looks like it's lining up with April Fool's. It looks like it. Maybe reserve a little bit of skepticism. Maybe it's actually happening. Ultimately, we know what it became. I had the same thought when we were talking. Well, maybe not enough. But I did see that it was around April Fool's Day. But I really got involved in this was, hey, maybe it's possible. Maybe, just maybe it's possible. There's a reason why we have to get rid of the Miles llama. Maybe there was some legal reason why the Miles llama couldn't stay anymore. Looked into those logistics. But realistically, it was right around April 1st. And a lot of us, including myself, said, hey, maybe it's a joke as well. But here it is. Here is the joke. With the caveat that the joke's on me if it doesn't happen. The Upland does lay these things in such a way that it's hard to be 100% sure. Because every once in a while we think we are going left and we go right in the game of Upland. And that would be part of the joke if they're trying to make that joke. If they put everyone in a position where they all had an assumption and all of a sudden they went left instead of that obvious right. Beautiful, bountiful Bermuda awaits. First and foremost, thank you, Upland. Thank you, Upland, for the alliteration. I do love it. We've decided to take a step forward into pure fantasy. Language here. Language here. Let's see. Let's see how that language holds out. Take a step into pure fantasy. That sounds like you're telling me something that's not true. That's the way it starts out. With our incoming launch of the beautiful island of Bermuda. With this launch, we open up the endless possibilities of breaking into a fantasy world with fantastical sights. Language. Get yourself ready as we're moving forward fast on this one. Travel routes will open up on the 1st of April, April 1st at 6 a.m. PT. Oh, yeah, that's an early start. With the actual opening taking place at 9 a.m. PT. Wow, this is exciting. 3-hour window to get into the city. And again, I'll stretch the term city here because it's not a city. You have to be fast to hop on those planes to get there in time. Plus, as a part of this release, we have some unique fantastical structures to build. I have a little bone to pick on these structures, though. These unique structures will be limited to Bermuda and really accentuate how different this launch will be. Okay, great. For all of the details, here, head over, take a look. Here's the announcement. Boom. If you're following along on YouTube, we can see this announcement with me. If you're not, go look at the announcement. Mystery Island, possible buildings. Again, impossible buildings. Language. Fantastical facades, the island of ingeniously impossible buildings. Why would a building be impossible? Because you can't build it. Why can't you build it? Because you don't actually have the release. Language. Buckle up for a journey into the fantastical. Language. As we are about to reveal something so wondrously outlandish. Language. You'll be questioning your own reality. Choice with language. Say farewell. I'm going to have to do this the whole time? No. Maybe I'll leave it there. But I think that this has been set up pretty clear. There's been a bunch of linguistic drops to say, hey, look, this is a prank. That is what you want to see when you talk about satire, is up front in the first paragraph, you have some early taps that, hey, we're really going to go to the nth degree in what we're saying. We're going to say, wow, we didn't really think this was possible. We thought it was impossible. No way this was ever going to happen. And then you talk about it happening, kind of builds up to the idea that it's not actually happening, that it can't actually happen, that there's no way it could have possibly happened. So why do we think this actually happening? So say farewell to the familiar landscapes of rural architecture. Again, we don't have rural architecture in the game of Upland. All of our architecture in the game of Upland currently is more tied to cityscapes. We have townhouses, which are tied to cityscapes. We talk about New York, everything that we have for New York for Queens. These are all built around city style structures, city style dwellings. We have some apartment buildings in the game. When you look in Chicago with the Assassin's Courtyard, that is going to be a apartment structure. So there's not much rural in the game of Upland as it currently exists. And hello to a new era in Upland. Welcome to Bermuda, our inaugural voyage into the realms of pure fantasy. Sure, one more. Choice of language. Imagine shores kissed by surreal tropical suns, buildings crowned with candy-colored rooftops. Candy-colored rooftops. That's not Bermuda. Bermuda is these beautiful, historic white rooftops. Again, lime blocks, limestone, eroded by water. You had these beautiful, like a step pyramid. These beautiful step pyramid to slow down the rainfall as it comes down. Barco coming in talking about this earlier tonight. To slow down the rainfall coming down the roof. So you have these little steps along the way, and as they wore down over time, you would go from having these steep corners, these steep 90-degree corners, to they would have these rounded corners as the line would break down, and it would be beautiful. There's this beautiful historical roof edges that are typical and are well known and are known to be a typifier of Bermuda, to the point where they call Bermuda roofs. And we've seen them in other parts of the world adapted or referring to Bermuda as Bermuda roofs. So there's a reason why we have a specific type of architecture we could cite as being cleared about Bermuda. Again, that Bermuda roof structure. But candy colored rooftops is not something that I would say is a typifying of Bermuda. That's my gripe. That define all cultural or architectural norms and palm trees that sway the rhythm of imagination itself. Again, imagination itself. This isn't just a departure from the ordinary, it's an invitation to a world where the only boundary is the horizon of your dreams. Dreams. Bermuda is where fantasy becomes your new reality if you dare to find the way on April 1st. Talk about these bold-faced words. We talk about upland using bold language in specific areas. April 1st, that's a great one. Great choice of what you're highlighting here. Bermuda, a nexus of mystery and marvel, nestled in the enigmatic Bermuda Triangle, a region shrouded in tales of mystery and disappearances. Bermuda emerges as a beacon of wonder. It's a locale where the impossible becomes possible, inspired by the Triangle's storied history of lost ships and aircraft. There's the Bermuda Triangle. Look at that. Stretching all the way from Miami to Bermuda, back to Puerto Rico, that entire area there. There's a bunch of islands that are all in there. Bunch of islands that we could have had instead of Bermuda, but it's okay. Bermuda's plenty lovely the way it is. But Bermuda over here, Miami down here, and then all the way down here, Puerto Rico. So we've got that beautiful triangle. The island boasts architectural marvels so fantastical, so unprecedented that they must be seen to be believed. Again, you got to actually see it if you want to believe it. We're talking about the fantasy, the majesty, the dream of it all. These uniquely magnificent structures, born from the island's mystical energy, can only exist here in Bermuda due to its intrinsic connection to the Bermuda Triangle. Here's the structures. First and foremost, what's the point of these structures? They're cute. They're cute. I like the fantasy. I like the fact that this looks like it's icing. Look at that icing coming down the roof over here. There's white here. There's white here. Yes, Bermuda roofs are right. But where's my step pyramid look? Where are my steps along the way? This one doesn't have a white roof. So, I do see that they put white here and they put white here. That's something. But this does not say anything about Bermuda architecture. If we're talking about and we're leaning in with this idea that we are going to justify taking a territory and making a territory a release, that's an island, we're going to deviate from this idea of cities or prefectures or, organized bodies of areas that are tied around some type of city focus. And then we're going to instead just choose an island. And we're going to suppose that the reason we're doing that specific island is architecture. Host the architecture of the island. That would be lovely. Mark your calendars, the grand opening. Again, I'm having a little bit of fun here because Upland's having a little bit of fun here. I think it's clear that this is a joke. Upland does have a fun with every year with April Fools, and I like that they put as much work in it as they do. Again, like I said, we had a vote a couple years ago, literally a vote, and there was numbers and there were statistics. This is why this is who won, and this is why they won by this much. And oh, by the way, it's a joke. That was part of the reveal. And there was voting, and it was a days-long ordeal, and people were headed in that way. Last year, we had weather that was coming to the game of Upland, and people sold properties because they didn't want to own properties in areas that were going to be prone to weather. People were looking at properties in a different way, in a different light, based on this announcement that happened 2 days before April Fool's Day. 2 days, not 1 day, 2 days before April Fool's Day. And then we got to April Fool's Day, and sure enough, hey guys, we were just joking. You know, it was a great joke. We revised it, whatever. So it was 2 days ahead. So people had 2 days to stew on it. It wasn't something that was announced on April Fool's Day and then poof, 2 hours later, it was over. Upland had to go ahead consciously, make the announcement a couple days ahead so they could have the reveal on April Fool's. But here's the details of the supposed release that we may see or may not see. Again, if the April Fool's Day joke is on me because it's a double bluff, right? Like they put all these details in to tell us that it was satire, but then they come back and say the joke's on you, it wasn't satire. The joke will be on me. I'll be surprised. And maybe I'll be ready to go into Bermuda just in case that's what happens. Mark your calendars a grand opening. Prepare yourself for an adventure like no other. Bermuda officially opens its doors on Monday, April 1st at 9 a.m. PT. I was going to say 2024, 9 a.m. PT. For those eager to witness history in the making, travel to Bermuda will commence earlier in the day. Travel will be through airport terminals starting at 6 a.m. PT. Again, 6 a.m. PT, 9 a.m. release. Not impossible. It is new. It would be different if it did happen, but it's not impossible. Sales at the terminal will take place. Sales of the terminals. It says sales at the terminal, but I'm assuming it's meant to say sales of the terminals will take place following the initial launch of Bermuda. We've had this happen before. That's not new. Details regarding that will be shared in the forthcoming announcement. Again, we've had that happen before. Stay tuned for more information. Now, here's some travel routes. This is a little bit of work. It's not a ton, but it's a little bit of work for Upland to go and calculate. Bloop, 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 bloop. Here's the number of miles as a crow flies, flight miles, to say between Bermuda and these other nice, beautiful cities with airports that we already have in the game of Upland. This is not something that likely took Upland too much work, but Upland's put some work in these previous April Fool's Day jokes. And what makes April Fool's Day jokes valuable or have value or really have a little bit of a punch or a payoff is when you put a little bit of work into them. Go and do a poll like we did 2 years ago. Go and put a beautiful article together and get people talking and support that conversation in general, which we had last year with talk about weather and this idea of weather events when people brought things up and asked questions about it, and the team answered questions in a constructive way, but well, we'll see with more details type of way. But ultimately, this is a couple days to think about it. This is a couple days to get ready. We've got the weekend to go through things. It's kind of exciting, but ultimately, it looks very much like a joke, even though, look at this. I could go to Miami. Miami's going to be 1,046 miles. It's going to be about 20 minutes to travel, and it's going to cost me 443 UPIX. See, that's a travel map. We have them for all the city releases. There's a couple things that are missing here as far as details. We have no information as far as what the future is going to be of the city for its value, or again, Bermuda, I'm going to say is a territory, but the territory of Bermuda, what the tiering would be. We are missing, the send fees. The default send fee, the low send fee, the high send fee. We're missing those details, but we do have some details that Upland did give us. This gives adventurers a brief window of time to arrive and prepare for the minting opportunity that promises to be historic, as it is fantastical. Language. The initial opening will feature only a few hundred properties. Again, maybe that'd be fun. Maybe I would enjoy that. Be one of the few first to get one of a few hundred properties. The problem with a launch that small would obviously be, that exclusivity would be diluted when we did have expansions. The only way to make that exclusivity particularly valuable or to stick would be to differentiate those properties as they come in, make those 100 properties in a specific area, whatever the case is. But no, I think this is a joke. Laying the groundwork for what will later be bloom. Again, blossom season will later blossom into a vibrant city. Given the enigmatic allure surrounding this launch on April 1st, collections will be introduced at a later date. So no notes that will essentially be a vanilla release and won't be visible in game or on the blockchain until then. Nor will it include treasure hunting at launch, emphasizing the island's distinctiveness and the unparalleled nature of its offering. Here's the thing about collections. Upland actually tells us that the collections will, whatever the collections will be notarized on the blockchain, that you will see the key that is going to verify the collection. The key will be released at release date. That's always something Upland tells us, to essentially say that if there's a collection that's available at the start of the city, it is in a vanilla mode. It exists. It's a real thing. It's just that we don't have the collection key. It's just that we don't have any way to verify that. And we will get the collection key later. That later collection key will show that the original release of the city had those encoded. It just wasn't ready to be released or ready to be seen. And then again, with the key being released, everyone can see, yes, verify, yes, that was always the case. Why own a piece of Bermuda? Well, let's see Upland's selling point here. Owning property in Bermuda is a venture into the extraordinary. Again, extraordinary. Positioned at the edge of the Bermuda Triangle, the island's properties are a testament to uniqueness and creativity. These structures stand as bold declarations that in Bermuda, the wonders of architecture and design know no limits. Again, if we're going to make this about architecture, give me Bermuda architecture, with more astonishing and unique structures planned for the future. That would be fun, though. If you gave me a city, or you gave me a territory, in this case, an island, and said, we're going to give you 3. And then 2 months later, they're going to say, we're going to give you 3 again. These ones you can only build for this period of time. You can only build them in Bermuda. And then another 3 months later, we had another set of structures you can only build for a short period of time. You can only build them in Bermuda. That would be a fun city. You get 30 different structures. You can have them all over the city. Some of them got built in the beginning. Some of them got built later. Maybe some areas have one structure. Maybe some areas, some neighborhoods have another. Maybe they get mixed in. They get a little bit of this collage of this is only able to be built at this part. It gets built throughout the area, and then we come back and we go backfill with this other limited time. And then we come back and we backfill again with this other structure that's only available for limited time. I like that. That's a good pitch, Upland. That would make me excited. With more astonishing, unique structures planned for the future, again, Bermuda offers an opportunity to be part of the living, evolving fantasy. This is fun. This is a fun one. Be advised, the allure of Bermuda comes with a price. Allure comes with a price. Anticipate spending a significant amount of UPX to secure one of these exciting properties. Yet, for those who venture forth, the reward is a stake in one of Upland's most mesmerizing and imaginative landscapes. I like the idea of Upland telling us to plan on a significant amount of UPX. Maybe it's a little bit tongue-in-cheek. Maybe the April Fool's Day joke is you're not getting Bermuda, but we have this other thing for you guys to consider purchasing. We got to get ready for it. Yeah, I'm glad they didn't announce Cycle 2 and say it's going to start April 1st. I'll tell you why. Because then that would be an April Fool's Day joke, and I would be mad. But, I mean, hey, it's right time for maybe the 5th we can get started here with cycles. We'll see how that happens. We don't want that to be a fantasy. We don't want that to be a joke. Embark on the journey to Bermuda. April 1st marks not just the opening of an island, but the birth of a legend. Language. Ready yourself to be part of this historic event. Prepare for the enchantment, the mystery, and the unparalleled beauty of Bermuda. I'm not going to argue that Bermuda is beautiful, because Bermuda is beautiful. I'm not going to argue that the architecture is not worth celebrating, because the architecture is worth celebrating. I just like it, the architecture of Bermuda, to be what's celebrated. Join us as we step into a realm where fantasy and architecture dance under the mystic skies of the Bermuda Triangle. Yay! I had to read the entire announcement. Again, these April Fool's Day announcements are about the announcement. That's ultimately what we're being sold. We don't actually get something in the end. We have a little bit of fun for a couple days. Upland has a little bit of fun for a couple days. If we have an April Fool's Day announcement that ends up being true, can have a last laugh and be really happy about it, and the rest of us can, some of us can kick ourselves in the butts, and the 5% or 10% of uplanders right now who are dedicated to the notion. They ran into the trash can, they dug up that old piece of tinfoil, they made themselves a tinfoil hat, and they're trying to find all the reasons why this has to be true. To those people, if you are right, come Monday, congratulations. I wasn't. I am certain that this is not going to be a real release. I am so certain that I'm still going to get ready for it. Again, I don't have full certainty. We never can. It has all the hallmarks of a joke. Upland has done things in the past where they've said things where it felt like a joke and we didn't know if it was real or not. Both of our April Fool's Day jokes previously, they felt like jokes to me. There was reasons to believe they were jokes, but there was also reason to get ready just in case. I can't pretend to know exactly what Upland is doing, and if it is a joke, if people are selling properties and trying to liquidate and trying to build their UPEX cash so they can be ready for Bermuda, it doesn't happen. There will be some people that will be upset. If it happens, I think there'll be more people will be upset because, it's 100 properties and they didn't really think about it. They didn't really plan for it. And they wish they could be part of it. And that's the thing. It's a prank either way. The problem with this prank is people may liquidate significant properties because Upland suggested you will need plenty of UPX. The aftermath may be ugly. Um, like I said, last year, BAMTech, people sold. They fire sold New Orleans. They said, "Oh my gosh, the price of properties in New Orleans after this officially kicks off, they're gonna landslide. It's gonna be a landslide. No pun intended. The water is gonna come through and rush the prices out into the ocean." So people were afraid, and people sold immediately. And 2 days later, or three, yeah, 2 days later, yeah, 2 days later, we said, "Oh, it's just a joke." Well, those properties were already sold. Some people got a good deal, some people got a bad deal. But of course, um, it is something that Upland, in order to make these things have stakes, like the last 2 years, to feel like they have stakes, is to consider that we have to have a little bit of something behind it. And again, they built a little something behind it. And yeah, breathing some logic into this. Yeah, there's logic to why it's a joke. But there's also, the illogical that Upland could just be still wanting to push that bias. We'll see how this happens. This is this coming Monday the 1st of April. Be ready for it to be a joke. If you want to, like me, be ready for it to not be a joke, just because. Just because I would rather there's times in the game of Upland, I take that 5% chance. I take that 5% chance just in case. Just like when I make sure I've got the money available to me in case I get awarded a terminal, right? I put my name in the hat. Only the first 5 people get to buy that terminal. I've never gotten to buy a terminal. I probably will never get to buy a terminal, but I'm ready to in case my name gets pulled. If Bermuda isn't this year's April Fool's Day joke, what is? Right? Upwind has a history. They've done a pretty good job of putting an April Fool's Day joke every year. Tomorrow is Friday. There's still time for them to drop an April Fool's Day joke. Again, we've been talking Sparklet, and I've got a punchline here, BAMTech, for you. So hold on for that. But we've got these Sparklet announcements that are a little sneaky on the corner. I'm glad they didn't make a Sparklet announcement about April Fool's Day, because again, that would be a bigger consequence to make an announcement about Sparklet, which is a regulated product in that it is going to be a coin, an actual cryptocurrency. To make jokes about that and to potentially push the value on that based on a joke, that would be a no-no. So I'm glad they're not doing that. But I am pretty well inclined to believe Bermuda is a joke. But let's take a look at the punchline here. Scrolling down. Oh, look, we got an announcement, and it's got some language to it, right? Follow the language. General chat giveaway at everyone. Here's the thing. One of our Upland team members got super lucky and got a property of the Easter egg hunt. This is true. this appears to be true. This appears to have happened. Would people be upset? Would people be really upset if they kept that property? If we saw X1 or we saw Lizette or we saw Squall turn around and mint one of those 20 properties, which were the big giveaway here. There was 900 of these bundles that were bought. 20 properties was a partial justification why people were doing so. Those were the rare occurrences. So if a team member got one of the rare occurrences, people would be upset. It looks like they did. But they're recycling it. They're recycling and giving it into a giveaway. Sad day for us because they really wanted a llama. Kind of funny, kind of a little bit of joke here. They really wanted a llama. So they're going to give away that property. They don't want the property. They don't want that property because they don't want people to scream and yell. But this is fun. This is fun in that there's a fun giveaway. You have an opportunity. It doesn't cost you a dime. It costs you a couple minutes of your time where you could win that property in Beverly Hills. But great thing for you because now we're giving away the property. So hop on over. Happy Easter, guys. Hop on over to the general chat channel, in-game chat, and share any and all of your upland wisdom that we should all live by. This is fun. It's an open-ended question. It's an opportunity for people to go in and be themselves, people with experience in the game, people who are new to the game, talk about what it is they do in upland and what it is that makes sense and gets them by and maybe can help somebody else. A few active chatters will receive 10,000 UPX. We've seen this. This is done randomly. I like it. I like that it's there. And one lucky player will get the property. These keep being random giveaways. They have some little ticker that says this post is the winner, and that's the one who wins. And I love it because you participate. You have a chance. You have as much chance as anyone else. You win. Congratulations. The prize is great, but also it's great for people to be active. Winners will be selected throughout the weekend, with the property winner announced on Monday, April 1st. April 1st. But there's a protection here. The protection is language. P.S. I love a P.S. Date is merely a coincidence and totally not capitalized an April Fool's thing. AKA, this property is actually getting given away. Participate over the weekend. The announcement will be out on Monday for the person who gets that property. Good luck to everybody. And yes, Bam Tag, there's your payoff. There's your joke. There's the punchline. They did choose to say this is not an April Fool's Day joke about one announcement and not the other. Whether it means something or not, we'll find out Monday. And there's no going to mess. Yeah, there's no way. Upland's not going to mess with Sparklet. They don't want to make a joke of Sparklet. They don't want to incorporate Sparklet into a joke because they don't want to deal with that backlash. But of course, yes, again, I would say this seems pretty obvious that we're supporting this April Fool's Day joke. But what I like to do, I've enjoyed this with these contests. We get this opportunity to take a look and get over into the game of Upland and actually look at what this chatting looks like. I was told by something the other day that we were talking about these contests, and they said, what do you mean? I mean, what do you mean about chat? And they just hadn't gotten into chat yet. So chat, lower left-hand corner of your screen, this little chat button. It is this pop-up here. It is this sidebar, and it allows me to still play the game of Upland. I could be treasure hunting. I could be doing whatever I wanted to do, but I still have this up here in the corner. You see that? I can see there's my general. I could go back. I could go see all these Upland different chat links. There's announcements that come in here. Here's my live updates. Look at this, Upland. I'm giving you a little bit of tutorial here on why to use the in-game chat. And again, I do use the in-game chat. The live updates, I can go back and see the live updates, the announcements here. There was actually something really cool in live updates we're going to take a look at in a little bit. That wasn't as clear a full announcement today, but it is a live update worth noting, and we'll get into that because it is a milestone in the game of Upland. But of course, the general is what we're talking about, and we go see if there's anything fun going on. There's some things going on, and again, we see this when we talk about general. In our general discussions, we can see that the topics go wherever they want to go. People will talk about one thing or another. People will put things out there. People will have a conversation that they will all be following and continue to go on here. But there's some fun things in here with people talking about their vision of what they're doing in Upland, what their thoughts are, what their choices are here. And again, I do see whenever we get into these advices, when people are putting these in here, is that advice that when people are putting these in there, grain of salt, always a grain of salt. Somebody's being really specific about totems. Let's be specific about totems. We had some specific things that happened during cycle 1. We were told that there could be changes between cycle 1 and cycle 2 and cycle 3. So just keep that in mind when we do get our second cycle, which I'm not gonna let myself turn blue over it. But when we do get a second cycle, keep that in mind. Just know that cycle 1 was cycle 1. Know that cycle 2 could be different than cycle 1. But yeah, I mean, giving people advice, some history here along the way, it's a lot of opportunity for people to learn things. It's an opportunity for people to have a conversation. We don't always know everything. People can have a conversation if they have differing thoughts about the same part of the game. And that's what a general is great at. A general chat area where people can have conversations, people can share what they bring to the game, people could be part of the conversation. And that's exactly why we have this general. So glad that's going as successfully as it is with these contests. Good to see contests. Ooh, look at this. I've got 2 private chats. I'm going to go see those private chats. I will go take a look at them, but they weren't there earlier. So that did happen earlier today for me. I'll go take a look at those chats a little later on. Those are for me to see what those people are telling me, and don't want to out them because I haven't seen what those are just yet. Live updates. Okay, let's take a look. Here's a feature update. And again, this is not as obvious as in our regular announcements, but it is a feature to be noted. Feature update. Just a quick feature update for you all. We now have the ability to directly drop property into your asset wallet. That means you don't have to go and travel to mint prizes. That's always been the case. If property is reserved for you, they usually send you the UPX, you get it, travel to the area, you go and mint the property. They can now, they being the team, can now drop a property into your asset. This is pretty cool. You win a property in a contest, snap your fingers, it's in your assets, you now own it. Upland's not asking you to travel across the globe. You're not losing UPX by having to travel. You're not losing time by having to travel. So that is fun. To officially show off this feature, winners from the recent Frost Ornament Challenge should now have their properties in their wallets. Snap your fingers, and it's done. So that's fairly cool that Upland was able to do that. It's a nice new feature. It's a small thing, maybe not a big thing for some, but it is a great thing for property winners, people who win properties in contests in the game of Upland. Let's go down to the event winners. Survey says event winners boards results will be only to event winners in-game chat. Okay, so no, all event winners plus leaderboard results will be posted only in the event winners channel in-game chat. This channel will be archived Monday, April 1st. There's another one. Oh my God. There's another one. April 1st. I don't think that's a joke. I think that Upland is intentionally moving some channels here into the game of Upland. Again, archive April 1st. We're now going to have to, if I want to go and see who the winners of a contest are, I want to go back here. I want to go into all the way down to event winners. And there we go. This wasn't even available in Discord. It's available right here. Poof. We can go and see. We can see these winners. Congratulations to the winners. These are some people who I know. So congratulations to these nice people that I know. Wedge Cloud. That is Zoe. The Zoe. Wow. Getting a 50,000 UPX event burn for getting that bounty basin. I didn't even talk to her about this. This is a huge win. Congratulations, Zoe, on that. I don't know all these other folks by name in game, so I'm not going to pretend that I do. But there are some people down here further down the list that I do know. So I do see that they had also won in the drawing. So this was the epic The epic Bounty Basin was burnt. And then we have the legendary Bounty Basin, the 0.2 Spark here. We've got a 0.2 Spark here. Those two are the winners. We have some drawing winners down here. And then we had some properties that were won more recently. And those properties were run, and I thought we were going to see the list here, but those properties were won. And we will see those announcements when they hit. Those properties were won based on the end of frost season for the leaderboard for ornaments for having the most decorations up. Top 10, they got their name drawn. Or one person got the name drawn of the top 10, and they got a landmark. So those landmarks are being dropped to those individuals. So congratulations to all those individuals. I see some stuff in here. Sent you a chat game in game. Zany Socks. Okay, Zany Socks. I'll take a look at that. And Daily Shorts. I did not know Daily Shorts was you. I did know Zany Socks was. I did know you in game of Upland. Didn't realize that the YouTube channel Daily Shorts was you. So I will take a look at that. Zany Socks in a little bit. So otherwise, taking a peek here, otherwise, and seeing that we have the first is coming up. First is coming up next week. We'll keep our eyes open on that. And that's about what we have for today. Again, we did see here. If we go in announcements again, I'm going to continue to promote the in-game chat because that is the future of the game. We see a lot of things going through in-game chat now. There we go. We do see that in announcements. There's our Bermuda. We go in the Blossom Season Pass. This was officially yesterday. The pass is available. It was announced that it was going to be available. It is available now. So the Blossom Season Pass again unveiled. It's available for purchase. We have it in game right now. I went and bought mine already. $6.99. I can buy as many as I want. The only reason why I might want to buy more than one is if I want to go sell the other ones in UpX. I could do that. I could buy 6. I could sell 5 of them in the game in the variety legit shops. That would be a choice I can make. That is not something advising people do. People have already done it, and I can't tell you what the market value is going to be. Just like I said last night, just like I'll always say, as these as these sales, these limited sales happen, as these specific currency sales, this is purchased in USD only, there's no UpX value. As these specific currency sales happen, people will be able to arbitrage. They'll be able to buy and they'll be able to sell it in a different market or in a different currency, which is, Upland, UPX isn't a currency. It's a token, utility token. It is what it is, but it's locked inside the game of Upland. So it is the opportunity to sell into UPX to a market that Upland is not serving. So you've got a little bit of that arbitrage opportunity there for you. It is a part of the game of Upland. So if you choose to be part of it, that's part of what you can choose to be part of. And then with a couple other things here, of course, I gotta put this out here. I did not get a chance to be part of the Egg Venture legit sale. There was 900 of them available. I was number 1,300 and change in that line. And with that, it just didn't line up for timing for me to be a part of it. As mentioned, one team member got lucky. They got one of those properties. That property is being cycled back to the community, so I'm glad to hear that. And otherwise, you still are part of this burn event. We went into the details yesterday, so you can get into them if you choose to do so. You can go back and watch yesterday's, or easy enough for yourself if you want to go to the events from yesterday. Just see that we have the Egg Venture Hidden Treasure. You can go and take a look at this announcement yesterday. All of your details there and timings are there, of course. The sale did happen today. The sale is over. If you purchased, you purchased. If you didn't, you didn't. You can purchase these jets and then burn for yourself. You can, after they are revealed here or after people have them, the egg llamas, they could be purchased and they could be burned for this card here. Those opportunities are available. Keep noting that the burning doesn't start until Friday, March 29th, tomorrow. So these are all things that are going to be in the future here over the weekend. The burn for the property legits, you have until the 5th of April, 9 a.m. PT to burn that property pass. If you hold on to it forever, then you just have a property pass that said at one point you had a chance to burn it, but you didn't. so you don't have the property. So that's a choice too. Lots of choices, lots of opportunities here. But of course, looking forward to this being something that's going to carry through the weekend. Just like speculation on the April Fool's Day joke, which some people have already lined up on one very clear part of the road, one side or the other. But otherwise, we will have a show tomorrow night. Tomorrow is Friday, 7 p.m. PT, starting hopefully closer to time. And I've already asked Banana to come in and we can do speculation on the collection of Bermuda, but it probably won't happen. He said he's got his own schedules. He's got his own things. He'll be out doing other things during that night. But hey, we will hopefully have a very real announcement here tomorrow about some more details for Blossom season starting Monday. So looking forward to that. So for tonight, thank you so much for being here. If you are in the Upland Cafe, as always, if you're in the Upland Cafe, as we continue to use the Upland Cafe as our voice channel look at those beautiful things, as our voice channel for the show, as for our voice channel in the game of Upland for open communication, feel free to unmute your mics. And oh my gosh, Boulder, I'm going to come back. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to read what Boulder had to put out here because it's some good thoughts. I'll take it. If it is a joke and a fake release, it will hurt the project a lot. Okay. We've had these big jokes before. This will be our third year in a row. But it'll hurt the project. They hopefully are releasing a city on Monday. It doesn't have to be Bermuda, but it does have to be something. Again, I think that if you're not going to give people a city on Monday, I like that idea, Boulder, that you use that time to make an announcement, say, hey, we were joking, but we do have a city for you. Paris is coming next week, or whatever it is. Again, I just say Paris because that's one that already has some speculation going about it, but whatever it is. Ever since 2021, when one ETH project announcement, they were releasing a token and the NFTs pumped up, and then they said April Fools, and that project died after. So it's obviously cost people for that to be a joke. Again, Upland can't make this joke about Sparklet. I'm glad they didn't. There is currency tied to it. There are regulations tied to Sparklet as it is going to be a coin. So they have to treat that with respect and they have to follow rules when it comes to Sparklet. But you could be on the side of I don't like jokes. You could be on the side of Upland is potentially pumping some people to make choices in the game of Upland that they would not make if not for this joke. I can fully agree with you that is a concern for the people that it affects. And again, you're not stupid for thinking one way or the other because who knows? 87% of us or whatever percent of us are certain this is a joke. We could be wrong. It's possible. I'm not going to say it's not, but I think it is. There's reasons, and as I look at things, I always look at the reasons why it appears to be one case or the other. It just really appears to be a joke. And yes, I see and I feel you, Boulder. I see and I feel that it is unfortunate, or it would be bothersome to many people to see this joke. I think that Upland dropped a lot of these little breadcrumbs along the way that told us it was a joke. So I think they tried to tell us it was a joke while also telling us, hey, here is something to look forward to. And I really hope that whatever happens Monday, that it feels comfortable to all the people who originally felt one way or the other. I hope that transition from, hey, this is a joke, or hey, this is real, why'd you take it as a joke? I hope that's a smooth one. I hope that there aren't a lot of hurt feelings. And I really hope that nobody gets caught really in an unfortunate or uncomfortable position because of it. I know some people have already, made a jump one way or the other. I take it as it comes when it comes to these things that are announced right around April Fool's Day. But again, with that, thank you everyone for being here. We are going to look at this, of course, for tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. PT. If you are in the cafe, feel free to unmute your mics. The floor is yours.